The road was quiet that morning. Too quiet for November. I told myself I was simply being thoughtful, surprising my wife and daughter for a short Thanksgiving visit. A gesture of warmth, unity, family. That lie tasted bitter even as I believed it. When I pulled into their suburban street, something in my chest tightened. Their house sat still, blinds half closed, as if hiding something. I stepped out, the chill in the air clinging to me like suspicion. Then a voice tore across the silence. "Wait! Don't go in there!" A neighbor, wide-eyed, running, panic pouring from him like he'd been choking on it for days. I froze. There is a kind of fear that arrives not loud, but soft, quiet, heavy. A dread that drips into you drop by drop until your blood turns cold. "What are you doing here?" he gasped. "Visiting my family," I replied. My voice sounded distant, hollow. He swallowed hard. You should hear something first." A pause hung between us, thick and suffocating. I thought of my wife's last text. "Miss you. Proud of our daughter. She married so well." I thought of my daughter's laughter when she left 2 weeks ago. Of my wife's kiss on my cheek. Of trust that suddenly felt naive. "Listen to me," he whispered, desperate. "There's something wrong, something you need to know before you walk through that door." 10 minutes later, blue lights drowned the quiet street. Police tape, questions, whispers. And my world, cracked but not yet broken, waited for the truth to reveal its rot. That was the moment something inside me began to shift. Not rage, not panic, just a quiet readiness for whatever knife was already pressed against my back. It started small. A forgotten remark here, a nervous glance there. My wife texting late at night during her visit. Her voice unusually soft when she called me, like she was speaking from a different life entirely. I brushed it away. Marriages get tired. People travel. Mothers visit daughters. But then came Thanksgiving morning. I called to say I'd arrive soon. My daughter-in-law answered, breathless, casual, oblivious to the blade she held. "If you want to join Thanksgiving," she snapped, "come wash the dishes." Wash the dishes. As if I were nothing. As if the house, the celebration, the family, all of it belonged to her, and I was some burden intruding. I hung up without a word. Silence was easier than anger. Minutes later she texted again, entitlement soaking every letter. "We don't entertain freeloaders. Respect my home." Her home. Funny how people forget who built the foundation beneath their arrogance. Funny how greed speaks louder than gratitude. That was when I sent the photos. My villa in Switzerland. The one no one knew about. Marble halls, glass chandeliers. A view worth more than her entire existence. 71 missed calls followed. And yet, beneath the noise, beneath the humiliation disguised as family banter, something deeper gnawed. My wife's absence from the chaos. Her silence, her distance. Betrayal rarely screams, it whispers. And I was beginning to hear everything. I didn't accuse. I didn't confront. Not yet. Truth deserves patience. It blooms slowly, like rot spreading behind a wall. I checked phone records, hotel receipts hidden in our joint account, her car's GPS history. Each discovery was a needle, threading doubt through my veins, until certainty formed a noose. A shared restaurant reservation with my daughter's husband 3 days before I arrived. A hotel near my daughter's home. A text on her lock screen from him. I can't stop thinking about that night. My wife. My son-in-law. A betrayal so grotesque it felt unreal. Like someone else's nightmare leaking into my life. But I showed nothing. Emotion is a currency thieves love to steal. So I smiled when she called, asked how she was enjoying her visit, pretended to believe, all while my mind sharpened into something cold, precise. I prepared quietly, collected proof, spoke to a lawyer, moved half our assets into protected accounts, requested security footage from hotels. Let them laugh. Let them feel safe. Revenge is not fire. It is ice. It waits. It freezes. And when it shatters, it cuts clean. The confirmation arrived in an envelope. Hotel logs, photos, timestamps. Unarguable, unforgiving. My wife returned home a week later, her smile fragile, her eyes searching mine for warmth she no longer deserved. I handed her the envelope. No words, just truth, sealed in paper and silence. She opened it slowly. Her hands shook. A gasp escaped her lips, soft, desperate, pathetic. Please, I can explain. But explanations are for misunderstandings. This was a choice. A betrayal grown like mold behind whispered lies. My daughter called next, voice trembling. She knew. She had known. I asked her only one question. When? Her sobbing was answer enough. My world did not collapse. It sharpened. I watched them both crumble, my wife in my kitchen, my daughter on the phone. Their world falling apart in real time, while I stood untouched, calm, quiet, finally awake. I didn't yell, I didn't demand. I simply placed the signed divorce papers on the table. Her name already removed from every account. Her future redirected to nothingness. You chose your silence, I whispered, and he chose his desire. I chose truth. She reached for me. I stepped back, watching her realize I had already left her long before she saw the documents. Then I booked a flight to my villa in Switzerland. I forwarded the same photos to my daughter-in-law again. No caption. Let them see what arrogance forfeits, what greed loses. I left the house without looking back. Behind me, a world I once loved collapsed under the weight of its own betrayal. Some think pain screams. Mine didn't. It settled. Clear. Cold. Pure. I learned something in that quiet devastation. Loyalty is not weakness. Trust is not blindness. But betrayal? Betrayal deserves no anger, only removal. From people, from memories, from life. I did not lose a family. I lost illusions. And in that loss, I found power again. I boarded the plane as a man unburdened, not broken, not wounded, just done. Some endings don't echo, they exhale. And as the engines roared and the ground fell away, one truth settled like winter frost. They never expected I would walk away, which is why it hurt them more when I did.